Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people. The US is very worried and has issued a serious warning that Chinese continuous taking of Chinese loan could swap China to sway in Nigeria's government and begin to control. In case you are not aware, at the moment, US is one of Nigeria's biggest allies, but the Chinese government is also not relenting. Most of the recent loans that Nigerian government has been taking has been coming from the Chinese government. The US is particularly very worried about this occasion and this occurrence that is going in this new trend, saying they are very worried and they don't want this to continue. Say because it can make China begin to affect Nigerians' leadership in terms of, they owe your loan you are owing them already, so they can begin to make input into your government that may not work in the favor of the US. And so US is already warning Nigerian government against accruing more loans, saying they don't think this is the way forward. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Issues in US warning that Chinese loans could spur China to swerve Nigerian government that could affect them. The United States of America has warned that increasing Chinese loans could give China the ability to sway the Nigerian government and affect their relationship with Americans. Immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari had a catalog load of collected loans from the Chinese, and for almost everything that was done with his government, the loans were collected from China. This has inadvertently plunged Nigeria into a debt trap of a sort that may be difficult to exit in any distant time. It was President Olusegun Obasanjo in the year 2006 who paid almost $20 billion to two giant international syndicates, Paris Club and London Club of Creditors, to settle her foreign debt. This transfer of wealth by the relatively poor nation contradicts the entire perjury financial judgment and economic disposition preached to Nigerians by the rich donor nations that bubbles around the lies of capital flight in development and in developing nation. The government of Olusegun Obasanjo, the ex-head of state, made the arrangement and secure the purchase of 18 billion debt relief for Nigeria from the Paris Club of Creditors, which became the incubantation for the country to pay off 36 billion foreign debt. Nigerian total foreign debt stood at 35.916 billion as of June 2005. The largest chunk of debt, 31 billion, was owed to 15 of the 19 creditors countries of the Paris Club. On Friday, April the 21st, 2006, Nigerian made instrumental payment of 451 billion to exit the Paris Club early debt repayment loan. The country paid 12.4 billion in arrears, and debt was stipulated to fulfill arrangement and reach the agreement with the Paris Club in June 2006. In addition, the federal government of Nigeria finally paid off the last batch of outstanding debt owed to the London Club, amounting to 2.1 billion for the settlement of both Paris Club and London Club of Creditors. Nigeria paid off almost 20 billion. A new heavyweight of emergency fund. This is as an analyst look at the immediate concerns. The U.S. Department of State document has shown that Nigeria is even in more debt that Buhari put her, more than all that was paid off by Olusegun Obasanjo. Nigeria is said to own right now the Chinese 4.34 billion as of March 2023, while the most recent study on Nigeria's railway system from the US-based Finch Solution stated in January 2022 that the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Corporation mortgaged and majority of railway projects in Nigeria valued for more than 25 billion, that is $10.35 billion, that is 10.5 trillion, has been owned to the Chinese government. This the US is very concerned about, could make the Chinese government begin to control how Nigerian government go ahead with their disposition of their leadership, as the Chinese will have a large say and this will affect their diplomatic relationship. So the US is not happy that Nigeria is in so much debt, and the debt profile has risen so high. For those of you who think Buhari did good for the nation, you heard the disparity between Buhari and Olusegun Obasanjo. We're not saying Olusegun Obasanjo was a saint, to don't get it twisted. However, he did much more he did much more for the nation, because by the time he was leaving, one of the things he did was that he made sure that Nigeria cleared her debts, because what Nigeria was doing was servicing the loan. Servicing the loan alone, you cannot even plan. You can't pay salaries. You can't do anything, which was a huge setback. And by the time he paid, when subsequent government began to come in, things began to go worse. In case you are not aware, from there to Maru Musa Yar'Adua, to Goodluck Jonathan, to Buhari, and today to Tinubu, the debt profile of Nigeria has swung. It has risen beyond you can imagine. And the US, one of Nigeria's closest allies, is very worried. Say this could lead to, a sway in government rules and policies, as the Chinese will want to make a harvest and want to, get Nigeria government into agreement with them by hook or by crook, and they are not happy, saying this is not the way to go. So whether you like it or not, the Chinese, they have money to give. What happened to our money? I can't remember. Maybe I've forgotten, or you need to remind me, or if I've made a mistake, you can remind me that the Chinese have oil. I can't remember. That now. But they have money to give to those who want to collect money from them. What happened to all our crude oil? What happened to all our raw materials, mineral resources that we have in this country that we are not appropriating well and properly? So much so that we are owing people. And the debtors now, they are so much in our faces that they are beginning to affect our decision making because we owe them. That the US now is, don't get it twisted. The US is also concerned for their own personal position, because all they are speaking is their relationship with Nigeria, and how, US and China, say they are rivals, and how that could potentially affect their relationship with Nigeria in terms of what is on ground currently right now and today. So when you look at the whole matter, you will see that, it is what it is. If there's any time in the history of the nation where people should actually pay attention, is now. Our nation is suffering. Leave us a comment. God bless. Bye for now.